Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 3 tips to improve your woodland photography. And the good news is it's just started raining. So one of my tips for woodland photography is to pick the right focal length. So generally speaking, when I'm doing woodland, I like to shoot anywhere between 30 to 50 or 60 millimeter. Now, the biggest reason for that is depth of field. If I'm shooting at a longer end of the focal length, so I've got my 24 to 120 on, if I go up to 120, and even if I go beyond 70, as you know, the longer you go on the focal length, the more compression that you get, and then you lose some of that depth of field. So I find for woodland photography, it can go 24, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But I find that between 30 and 50, sometimes 60, really does work in terms of depth of field here. Now, the reason why 24 is okay, but not always great, is that woodland is complex, and the wider you go, the more you're going to introduce other elements into the scene. And I find that really problematic. I certainly wouldn't go wider than 24 on this. I mean, if you want an example, just go out into the woods, get your smartphone out, and then try with the wider angle there, and you'll find it's really difficult to get a composition. The other benefit of zooming in to, say, 50 millimeter, this video at the moment is on about 35, I think, and you can probably just see there's some sky above me. Now, I don't like to include sky in my woodland photography, so having something that can take me to 50 millimeter can really help me eliminate the sky from the shot. Right, I'm going to take this shot here, just working on some different angles. So yeah, let's see what happens. Right, the first thing you would have noticed is I now have my rain jacket on. I actually stopped filming earlier, went back to the car, changed, because it was really raining a lot. And the problem was that the rain was making the leaves fall off the trees, and it was having an interference with the shots. Anyway, the reason why you should come out in the rain, so this is tip number 2, is because for 2 reasons, really. Firstly, you get some really nice saturated colors. And I'm working on a shot here with this tree. It's quite a complicated shot, but with the wet leaves and the wet moss on the tree here, it really works well from a color perspective. So that's the first reason. Now, the second reason why rain is good for woodland photography is because it does create more of a mist effect. Now, the woods that I'm standing in at the moment, it never gets misty through natural conditions. In terms of, mist just rolling in, I always have to rely on rain to give me that. Now, either during rain, if it's light enough rain, as I said before, it just became way too heavy earlier, and also just shortly after rain as well, particularly if it starts to warm up a little bit, then obviously you get that kind of mist effect coming in, which really helps you with the separation. So my third tip is to scout the location beforehand. Now, woodland photography is really difficult. For me, it's one of the most difficult types of photography. And what I did on Sunday is I came out to this location and I used my phone and searched for compositions that would work when I came out with my camera. And yeah, Sunday when I came out, it was really dry, so it wasn't perfect conditions for woodland photography. But I knew exactly where to come today because I had scouted out beforehand. So if you do have time, then I would definitely recommend you do that. And this woods is actually not far from my home. So if you are new to woodland photography, my advice really is just to pick something that's close to home and work on your skills rather than traveling a long way. And again, that just gives you the advantage there that you can actually scout for compositions before coming out with your camera. So there's an area here which is deeper into the woods, which I really like because you've got these really old trees here and there's grass as well, which is growing out. Now, last year I tried to take a photo of this, and to be honest, I wasn't really happy with the results. In fact, there's more greenery in this direction as well, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, it is a question of trying to find the right composition here. And when I show you the rest of this, I'll just point out the problem that I'm having with this photo. So you can see here, there's a lot of grasses growing out of the water here. Now, the problem that I have is on the opposite side of the bank, you've got the autumnal colours, which I don't really think work well with the combination of the trees plus the green plus the autumn colours. I think it's too much there. So I'm trying to get rid of the autumn colours in the background and just trying to get a shot where I've got the water, which does have the autumnal leaves in there, plus some of the trees, plus the grasses. I'm trying to get as much in focus as possible. So I'm shooting down at f13 on a couple of these shots to see what I can get. Now, it may be, again, I'm looking at 35mm, maybe 50mm. Just need to be careful there with depth of field. I'm going to try not to focus stack, to be honest. If it does drop off at the back, I'm not so worried on here. And I may end up just kind of cropping out the background that you can see behind me here. I'll take a look once I get all of this stuff back into Lightroom. Maybe the autumnal colours in the back will actually convince me to keep it in. But yeah, I'm just walking around here at the moment trying to find pretty much what I spotted yesterday when I came here with my phone. So just coming back to an earlier point I made regarding 50mm being able to eliminate the sky. Now this is in video mode, but if I just show you what that looks like. So that's the equivalent. I mean, on video it's 28, but I've just cross-referenced against 35 on the camera setting, and that's what you would see. Now, if I zoom in to the equivalent of 50, which is kind of that on video, then you can see that what I've done there is just eliminated the sky from the shot. So I'm looking forward to getting home and putting these shots into Lightroom. I think what I'm going to do as well is just work on a few alternative woodland presets, because I want to do a lot more woodland photography. And yeah, creating those presets just makes it far easier regarding editing. As always, thank you for watching and see you next time.